Setting up a Google Meet using Google Classrooms is very easy. Google Meet and Google Classroom now have full integration. There is no need to create calendar events for every lesson. Setting up the live lesson is far easier. The link in the Google Meet is always visible within Google Classroom for your students. However, students cannot enter the Google Meet before a teacher is present. And if the teacher correctly ends the meet, students are all removed and cannot rejoin. Using this way is easier and more secure. To do this, we must first open Google Classroom in the usual way from the waffle in the top right-hand side of google.com. We'll then open our classroom, and on the left-hand side, we will click on Generate Link. This is just under the Meet icon. A message box will pop up. The link will automatically be made visible to students. There is no need to switch this off. Students cannot enter a meeting unless a teacher is already present. Click Save. Students see the Google Meet Join button on the left-hand side of their screen. If they are accessing this through the Classwork tab, they will see a Meet icon. This is the same if they access through a mobile device. If a student tries to join the meet before their teacher, they are shown this error message. Waiting for the host to join. The meeting will start as soon as the host has joined. Students cannot get into the meet without that teacher being present. So now we need to share the lesson as an assignment. To do this, we head over to Classwork, click on Create, and then Assignment. In here we must set the assignment title. For example, Live Lesson, Friday Period 3 at 11 AM. Next, we should add some clear instructions for the lesson. I will give you an example of what mine sounds like. Please note, the Google Meet will not start until I have joined. Until then, you will see a waiting screen. The Google Meet link appears on the left-hand side of Google Classroom webpage. Or if you are viewing on a mobile device, it will appear at the top of the app. When you join, make sure that your camera and microphones are turned off. All meets are recorded. The resources for this lesson are linked to the assignment. You may open the starter activity whilst you wait. You can then add your resources. Now, of course, this part is optional. When we do add our resources, please ensure that you set it up correctly on the right-hand side. Just here, where we have make a copy for each student, or a resource that they can read, for example, we'll just have students can view the file. And finally, you'll set the due date, and you should set this to the date and time that the lesson begins. Share the lesson time in an assignment. So our expectation for students is that they have their camera and microphone switched off when they join a Google Meet. It is worth emphasising this in the assignment post that you share with your students. You might also find it useful to share your starter in the assignment post so they have something to do while they are waiting to join your meet. Starting the meet. At the start of your lesson, open your Google Classroom and then click on the Meet link. The meet will start. At this point, students will now be able to join. Meeting should be recorded. In order to do this, click on the three dots at the side of the End Call button and click Record Meeting. So click on Start Recording, and then you are accepting the agreement by clicking Start. At this point, the meeting will now be recorded. The recording is private to you. It won't be seen by anyone else unless you choose to share it with them. Shortly after the lesson is finished, you will receive an email telling you that recording has been uploaded. This email can safely be deleted. The recording will be in your Google Drive in a folder called Meet Recordings, labelled by date and time. Once students start to join the meeting, you may need to control the chat. To do this, you will need to open the chat pane. You can toggle the chat to off. This will disable the chat feature and ensure students are unable to communicate with each other whilst you are completing your live lesson. You may want to re-enable this if you want students to contribute via the chat window. There are some additional host controls. To get to this, you're going to click on People and then click on Host Controls. And from here, we can untoggle Share Their Screen. This will prevent students from sharing their screens with everybody else. You may also wish to turn off webcam and microphones for students. Now you'll need to present your lesson. To do this, click on the Present logo. And from here, select a window. You select the window in which you wish to share and click on the blue Share button. If the window that you want to share doesn't appear, it is probably because it has been minimized. Click on its icon in the Windows taskbar to restore it, and then you'll be able to select it. Now teach your lesson. During the lesson, remember, you can enable and disable the chat if you want to respond to any chats and comments in that window. You also have the power to mute students if you've left the microphones on. To do this, you simply click on the microphone icon. Or you can even remove them from the lesson by clicking the three dots at the side of their student's name and remove from call. During the lesson, if you wish to show a visualizer or another window, simply click Stop Presenting. Then once again, click on Present. Again, select a window and then select the window of which you wish to share. During the lesson, mute your microphone when students are working independently. Remember that you can mute your microphone whenever you want to. If something starts to happen in the classroom that you don't want remote learners to hear, mute your microphone. Don't forget to unmute yourself afterwards though. Ending your lesson. At the end of the lesson, you must stop recording. Once the recording is stopped, you can then click the big red button, Leave Call. You then have two options. Just leave the call and end the call. You want to click End the Call. This will remove everybody from the Google Meet. This will also ensure students are unable to rejoin. After your lesson, you will receive an email telling you who logged onto your Google Meet, what time they arrived and left, and how long they were present for. You will also receive an email with a link to your recorded lesson. You can safely delete this email. The recording is saved on your Google Drive.